This tutorial introduces how to use the app. You are the tutor and your goal is to teach your student how to solve equations. Your student is shown at the bottom left corner. Your goal is to have your student pass all the levels of the quiz. When you first start the app, you will be able to customize your student. You can change skin color, hair, and shirt, or you can use the I'm feeling lucky button to make different student images. Type your student's name into the name box. For this demo, let's use a girl named Stacy. Click the Save button to finish customizing your student. Once you click the Save button, you cannot change your student again. To quiz your student, go to the Quiz tab and click the Quiz button. There are 3 quiz levels: one-step equations, two-step equations, and equations with variables on both sides. When your student finishes the quiz, Mr. Williams will grade it and give you a summary in the pop-up message. A quiz problem gets a red X if any part is incorrect. Mr. Williams stops grading after he sees the first mistake and marks it red. A good strategy would be to focus on teaching the quiz problems that your student gets wrong. Click on the Stacy tab to start teaching Stacy. Let's do the equation x plus 3 equals 4 that Stacy got wrong on the quiz. Type x plus 3 on the left side and 4 on the right side. Stacy will then ask if she should do the problem. When you have the equation typed in the way you want, click the Yes button and your student will start working. Your student types in one step at a time and asks you if you agree. Here, Stacy suggests add 3, meaning add 3 to both sides. Click the Yes button if you think add 3 is a good move. Click the No button if you disagree. Let's click on the No button here to disagree with Stacy's suggestion. Now, Stacy gets stuck and asks you what to do next. To tutor the next step, type what your student needs to do. For the transformation, you can say divide, add, subtract, or multiply. For this example, you type subtract 3 into the transformation column. Hit Enter when you are done.
Your student might ask for help on a problem that you think is solved. Click the Problem is Solved button if you think that the problem is solved. Your student may use proper or improper fractions. In this app, that's okay.
To give your student another problem, click the New Problem button. Type a new problem and click the Yes button. If you think you made a mistake while telling your student what to do, you can tell your student to erase that step. Click on the Undo button. Your student will then ask you to confirm. In this case, Stacy is asking to erase 2. At this moment, if you click No, your student will go back to the problem as it was. Click the Yes button to actually erase the mistake. You can erase as many steps as you want. You can also click the Restart button to restart the problem from the beginning. Now that you taught Stacy the problem she got wrong on the quiz, it's a good strategy to take the quiz again. This time, Stacy solves the whole problem correctly, so it gets a green check. Correct steps are marked as green. Since Stacy solved all equations correctly, Mr. Williams gives her a medal and unlocks the next quiz section. Let's quiz Stacy on the next section. Mr. Williams now tells you on the pop-up message that Stacy got all problems wrong. A quiz problem gets a red X if it is incorrect, and an orange question mark if your student gave up. Remember, a good strategy would be to focus on the quiz problems your student gets wrong. Your student's progress on the quiz is shown here. Your student might ask you to explain things. Read the question from your student carefully and type an explanation in your own words. Click Submit when you're done. Try to give your best answer to help your student learn better. When you say no to your student's step, your student may also ask why you disagree. Sometimes the questions are visualized to make them more clear. Give your best answer to help your student learn and click Submit when you're done. This is Mr. Williams, the math teacher. He will occasionally explain things like quiz results and the unit overview. If you're confused, don't know what to do, or don't know how to solve a problem, you can ask Mr. Williams for help. Mr. Williams can also help you teach your student. Click on Mr. Williams and select the question you want to ask him. Read Mr. Williams' suggestions carefully. If you need more help, you can click the Tell Me More button. Click OK to close the message window. Mr. Williams can also help you solve equations. In this example, you ask Mr. Williams if your student's answer is correct. In this example, your student doesn't know what to do, and you ask Mr. Williams how to proceed in the next step. Mr. Williams will sometimes jump in to help you, even if you don't click on him. Again, read his suggestions carefully. There are some useful resources to help you tutor your student. The problem bank contains many types of problems you may want to use to teach your student. Stars indicate the difficulty of a problem. The more stars it has, the more difficult it is to solve. You can sort the problems according to their name, type, and difficulty. At any time, you can look at examples on the Examples screen. The list at the right has sections for each type of equation. Click the title bar to expand or collapse a section. Click a problem to see how to solve the example. You can click forward and backward through the solution steps. You can also hover over a step in the solution to see more information about that step. The unit overview is another resource for you to review. You will find a mini chapter on how to solve equations and other useful information. Remember that you need to teach one-step and two-step equations as well as equations with variables on both sides to pass the quiz. Quiz often and focus on the quiz problems your student gets wrong. Use the resources wisely and ask Mr. Williams if necessary. Now that you know how to use the app, you can move on to tutoring your student.